Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Wrapped Up Podcast. Today, I'm IcySweiss, and I'm here with.
Ethan Alesha.
We're going to be going through some albums that dropped recently, giving our thoughts and opinions on it. And yeah, if you guys could hit that like button, it would mean a lot. Maybe sub if you are so kind. And yeah, let's just get right into it. Let's just start off with Trippie Red. This album came out probably like 2.5 weeks ago.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, getting a lot of hate, and I don't know. I don't know why. I'm interested to hear your opinion first before I give mine. So, what do you
it
got?
actually, it actually took me about 2 weeks to first listen to this album. I was just busy with school, work, everything, so I didn't really get around to it. But I had heard mixed things. I heard that a lot of like diehard Trippie Red fans were really happy with the album, but people outside of that are clowning it just because like there's some noises at the end of the album or a song like "We," where he's kind of just yelling at the end. That's easy stuff to clown on, but when you actually listen to the album, there's a lot of content there, and I think this is exactly what Trippie Red fans were expecting from his next album. But I don't mean that in a bad way. I think he really delivered. And even the past couple of days, sorry, my slide fell off my foot, but the more I listen to this album, the more I like it. Um, how do you feel?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a diehard Trippie Red fan, and I going into the album, I wasn't expecting it to be one of his best. For some reason, I just got that feeling. I'm like, his old albums are just so good, but yeah. The main complaint I have, I liked almost every song, if not every song. The main complaint I have, which isn't even a complaint, like the album was really long, 26 songs. And
Right.
if it's someone I don't love, I think it's extremely long, which is
Oh
why
yeah, yeah,
the
for sure.
argument that some people are saying it's too long, I totally understand. But just being a diehard Trippie Red fan, I'm perfectly fine with it. It's like your favorite, it's one of your favorite artists giving you 26 new tracks. Like, I don't know how you can complain, but if you're a casual, I definitely see why you would complain. Um, but yeah, a lot of people are just saying it's a complete miss. There's no good songs on here, which I disagree with a lot. Maybe it's just because I'm such a big fan of him.
Mm.
But yeah, going through the album, I liked almost every song, and there's probably like 6 or 7 where I like extremely liked, and the other ones are just like they're not even mid, they're just like above average where I would listen to. So I don't really know. I mean, I understand the hate, but if you get away from the number of tracks, a lot of people are just saying it just sucked, which I don't know why people think that. So I don't know. I know
Yeah.
you're not a diehard Trippie Red fan. How are your like, if you were to compare this to his previous albums or compared to like what were you expecting?
Um, I mean, when you compare it to his earlier work, I'd say it's definitely not his worst. Like you can't really because I wouldn't put any of his work like any of his albums at worst to be honest with you. But this definitely isn't his best. I mean, it's hard to even put it in the top three to be honest with you. I'd say it's like middle to low class Trippie Red, which is still a really good album. Don't get me wrong, but definitely not his best work. And I mean, it's kind of what I was expecting. Like I was kind of hoping that I'd get blown away by this because he's been hyping this album up for a while. Um, but I mean, no complaints. Just when you're listening and everything. Uh, I downloaded the expanded edition because I didn't listen to it right away, and it was very late at night. And when those sounds came on at the end, it gave
Yeah.
me a little bit of a scare, a little bit of a scare.
Yeah.
But some standout tracks for me were definitely Moonlight. That was one of my favorite ones, and then also the one with Sway Lee, TR 666. That was a really good song. And then looking at it, even with like the sounds and everything downloaded, it's 32 songs, an hour and 21 minutes. So like for that many songs, that's not really that long, you know?
No, not at all. And the sounds don't really count. Like if the actual
Right,
album doesn't have them, so
right.
you can take off 6 tracks there. But yeah, I mean, overall, I thought it was good. It's with 26 songs, it's very long. But if I just clicked shuffle, at least personally, I just know what song it is when it comes up. Like it's not hard to get lost in my opinion. And I think the features overall were actually very good. Obviously, you have Excitement, which was a huge song with
Oh
Party
yeah.
Next Door. Um, Personal favorite featuring Rich the Kid. I didn't love his verse, but as a Rich the Kid hater, as I think both of us are, he's garbage. Turned in a pretty solid feature for
Yeah,
him.
it definitely
Um,
worked with the song.
Yeah, for sure. Spaceships with Young Thug. Thug did his thing. My favorite feature on the album is probably Future on Never Change, which is pretty surprising when I was looking at the track list. And he's got Quavo and he's got Sean Kingston in here, another Future feature, Lil Wayne. I do see the complaint about the songs. I totally understand that, but like there's people who are saying like 26 songs, all misses. Like this doesn't make sense to me. Um, I don't know. I really don't understand. Overall, I would definitely rate this album lower tier in his discography, but being such a big fan, that's still really good in my opinion. But definitely wasn't his worst.
Yeah,
It was still bottom tier, but I'm excited for the deluxe project because he said that it's going to be like a rock inspired project,
yeah,
which we know he can definitely pull that off. So hopefully he can, you know, come back with some of the haters with that to show off his versatility. A lot of people are saying, he's garbage. I think he's very talented. He can rap, he can sing, and he can, you know, delve into like the rock genre. I don't know. Overall, I enjoyed it. I'm still listening to it a lot, which is a good sign. You tend to get lost in music these days with so much coming out. You kind of forget about stuff. I'm still going back to this. So overall, what did I give it? I think I gave it like a 7, 8 or something when I did my video. But overall,
that
just
was,
a
that
solid
was good.
album. A little, how do I want to say this? It didn't meet my expectations for a Trippie Red album, but that just means, I don't know how to explain it. It still means it's very good in my opinion. So
Right. I mean, it's kind of like one of your favorite artists. So I don't want to say regardless of what they put out, it's gonna be good. But if it's decent, you're still gonna enjoy it, right?
yeah,
So
it's yeah. Because I feel like there's certain artists that require an acquired taste. If you like Trippie Red's style and his voice, it's very hard for him to make a bad song. I can't really name a song where I just like cannot play it
I,
and just
yeah,
so
yeah. I was gonna ask you out of 10, but you already gave it. I had the number I had in my head was 7.7, so we're right around the same.
cool. Um, yeah. So hopefully that deluxe comes out soon. I'm excited for it.
For sure.
Next we can move on to obviously a superstar, Kid LAROI. Drop the
Yes.
good old
We called this months ago.
yep.
Months ago.
Drop the good old 7 track little deluxe version. Savage. You know, it's amazing. I don't know what else to say. What were your thoughts?
I mean, everything we've already said, it's crazy because we've kind of spoken this into existence. Like I just remember telling people and they wouldn't really bat an eye. Now I have people sending me the Kid Leroy songs when they drop.
Mhm.
Obviously, I've already heard them, but it's kind of awesome to see like all of my friends are posting these songs. And this was a deluxe. He is the number 3 album of the week, 52,000. That I mean, that doesn't sound like a whole lot, but just turned 17. Kids from Australia, like, and Juice was his mentor. He has some big shoes to fill. So it's like this is insane how quickly he's growing, and for good reason. You can already tell how much he's evolved in his music. Um, I don't know, dude. Like the sky's the limit for this kid. He just posted something where Spotify is doing a documentary on him tomorrow. Like he's on the billboards downtown New York. I mean, he's literally 17 years old. I can't stress that point enough. He's literally on his way to become a superstar.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, one of the biggest tracks is "Without You." That's gained a lot of traction. That's probably my favorite song by him, to be honest, and definitely one of my favorite songs of the year.
I put it in
Uh,
my top 10 to be honest with you.
yeah, for real. We don't really need to, you know, go too much into it because we love it. I was curious, how would you rank these songs, 1 through 7? And before, like, obviously we rank it like number 7 is still like an amazing track to us, no matter what it is. So we're kind of
Right.
just, it's really hard to rank this, in my opinion, but I'm curious.
Right. So right now, because honestly, like my favorite song has probably changed 3 times since this came out. Number 1 for me is Always Do. I love the video. Just like I don't know, I love the message of the song and everything. It really hits hard. Number 2 would have to be Without You because I mean, like I said, top 10 song of the year. I played it a ridiculous amount already. Number 3, maybe Fuck You Goodbye. I really liked MGK's feature on that song. I've seen that song getting some hate online, like on TikTok or something, but I'm like, whatever. It's all personal preference, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for Pikachu, I thought that was a really good opening track. He's kind of rapping on this one, which is you don't see a lot from LAROI, and I thought the flow switches and everything was really good. Let's see, that I'm at number five now. I'll put So Done in there. I mean, it's an older track, but it's still really good. It has a lot of replay value. Um, Tragic is probably number six. Young Boy, I thought had a pretty good feature. Didn't blow my socks off, but it was a good feature. And Leroy did his thing. And then Feel Something featuring Marshmello is probably seven. I still go back to that song a decent amount, but definitely has the least amount of replay value out of the seven for me at least. Um, Beautiful song, good vocals and everything, but I mean, I don't think Leroy's made a sub really good song yet. So
Mm-hmm.
that
Yeah,
would be my order.
yeah, it's very hard to rank it. I would go with number one, obviously, Without You. In my opinion, it's my favorite track from. Number two and three, you could easily flip any day of the week, and I'm gonna go So Done and Always Do. It's just it's kind of I don't like. It's so hard to rank when like the single came out a while ago and I've already listened to it so much. Because
Right.
Always Do is, if we're taking So Done out, Always Do is top two no matter what. I don't
Yeah.
care what your opinion is. And I don't know, So Done, like I said it when it came out, like it's still one of my favorite tracks from him. And I've played it a ridiculous amount of times. So I mean, I would you could flip flop those any way you want, but I'm just gonna go So Done at two, Always Do at three. But it's like I said, it's basically both of them are number two.
Right.
Number four, um, hmm, I'm gonna go with let's see, I'm gonna go with Pikachu.
Yeah.
A lot of this album is like very like melodic and kind of like about like heartbreak. I feel like stuff like that. Pikachu is very aggressive. Good way to start out, like you said, and very catchy hook. Like I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
Very good song. Next I'm actually going to go Feel Something. I actually love this song for some reason. Um, I couldn't tell you why. I think the beat's good, and I just think his vocals on that are amazing.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
feel like number four and five. Wait, four is Pikachu. I feel like five and six you can also flip, which is Feel Something and Fuck You Goodbye. Like I said, like all of these songs are so close for me, it's very hard to rank. But I thought Machine Gun Kelly did a really good job, and
Yeah, me.
also the vocals are amazing on that. And then number seven, I'm gonna go Tragic, and I also really love this song. And I don't hate Young Boy's feature, like you said. The only problem I have with it is I just feel like someone could have done better than Young Boy.
Yeah.
Killer Roy's part, it's his part is one of the best spots on the whole album. And I feel like Young Boy doesn't downgrade the song at all, but he also doesn't elevate it. In my opinion, I feel like someone else could have done a much better job of taking it to the next level. And honestly, the song might have been in my top like three or four if it had a different feature. But yeah, I mean, it's so hard to rank all of these. I can hit shuffle on this any day of the week and enjoy myself. So overall, I don't, obviously it's not an album, but it's one of my favorite like I guess EPs or drops that I had this
Projects.
year for
Yeah.
sure.
Out of 10, do we have a score from you?
Every song is pretty much flawless. Um, it's weird when you come up against something like this because like it's very hard to give out like nines because like when you're giving out nines, you're talking about like legendary albums. But like if I'm going up based on
I
pure,
don't think that matters. I think it's just personal
that's
enjoyment,
what
you
I'm
know?
saying. I was about to say like if it comes down to my enjoyment, I enjoy every single thing on this, and I would give like a 9.7, 9.8. There's still some things I wish could have. The only complaint I have is a different feature than Youngboy. It's not even like it's a bad feature. If he had
Mhm.
someone else who took it to a next level, 10 out of 10. No concerns there.
Score I had in my head was 9-3, so we're not that far off.
Mhm.
Some things I'd like to see from Leroy is like Diva was my favorite song of the year for so long, and it's still up there. I want to see him come back with that like positive energy, kind of like that hype. I
Mhm.
really like his heartbreak songs, don't get me wrong, but if he keeps coming with the same thing over and over again, I feel like people are gonna get tired of it. Pikachu was a nice little switch up, so And like you said on Tragic, I think a different feature would have kind of elevated the song more. So that, and then I just want to see a couple more LAROI tracks where he's bringing that energy back, kind of like that positive feeling. So 9-3 still a really high score, but yeah, I mean, he's just getting better. Simply, he's because I remember when Fuck Love came out, we didn't love it right away. We're pretty content with it. When this dropped, I genuinely loved every song.
Mhm. Yeah,
So it's like you could just tell he's getting better as an artist.
yeah, absolutely. Especially when Without You came. I do think Without You was also a very good switch up, going straight acoustic.
Yeah.
And for all the people who are saying he relies on autotune stuff, he just shows you in that song he's actually talented, which I liked a lot.
Oh, he froze for a second.
Well,
Oh,
sorry for the technical difficulties if it seemed weird at the end. We had some connection issues, but yeah. Um, that's enough talking about the Kid Laroi. Uh, let's just get right into the most recent project, which is obviously Future and Lil Uzi Pluto X
Future and who?
Lil Uzi Vert
Okay, yeah, that's right.
Pluto X Baby Pluto.
Yep.
Um, yeah, you're an Uzi stan. What did you think about it?
I am an Uzi stan. I can say this though, and I feel like this gives me more credibility.
Hmm.
This was the least happy I was after a first listen of an Uzi tape. Um, and it was kind of like that with Eternal Take too. Up to that point, that was like the first time, but as I listened to that over time, Eternal Take grew on me. And honestly, I don't think there's a bad song in there. Still my favorite album of the year, but you know, I'm a diehard Uzi fan. With this album though, there were definitely some standout tracks from the first listen, at least for me. Sleeping on the Floor was the third track. That one just fucking slapped, banged. Like if you play it really loud, the beat's really good. They're going back and forth. It's just like a banger, really hype song. Real Baby Pluto was another good one. That was a catchy hook. Album kind of tails off in the middle, I think you could say. There's a couple stronger tracks on the back end, but probably, I mean, up to this point, it's only been out what, not even a week. It's my least favorite Uzi project for now, but I don't know. I think he does really well on his own, and with someone like Future, I think all the songs are really good still, but I kind of was expecting a little bit more. How are you feeling?
Yeah. Obviously, a lot of people were giving it hate right off the bat. You saw a lot of hate, and I was very surprised. I was like, how can this even be bad? It's Uzi and Future.
Mhm.
Then I started listening, and the first six songs I really liked, and I was like, okay, this isn't gonna be bad. Whatever. Like you said, "Sleeping on the Floor," probably my favorite song. Real Baby, Pluto, that's another great one. The first six songs are the only songs I added through two listens, which is very odd. Uh,
Really?
yeah, 6 out of 16, and it tailed off right at the seventh track through it. I was listening to it. There's there's only one, in my opinion, terrible track, but we'll get to that later. But the other ones, they were just pretty average, nothing that I would really want to listen to again, I feel like. But the first six are bangers, but I don't know. I hate throwing the word mid around. I don't know if it's mid. I don't know how to explain it. My expectations were pretty high.
Hmm.
This fell very short of my expectations. Um, and then yeah, let's just get into it. I think Lullaby is by far Uzi's worst track he's ever put out. I was listening to it through first listen. I was literally in disbelief on it. Like I hate to, I love Uzi. Like I think he's like I said. I before this project, I honestly didn't think he was capable of making a bad song, which still stands true if you take out Lullaby. But dude, I don't know. I was listening to it and I was just like, this is the first time I ever said like this song by Lil Uzi Vert is garbage. Like I never want to hear it again. I listened to it again through the second time and it still was the same thing. It was so monotone, so it felt offbeat. It didn't feel like a complete song. It just felt like this dude was talking, I feel like. And I've never given any hate towards Lil Uzi, but that one was the worst song I've ever heard from him. Um, in terms of like obviously the rest, you can throw any song on this, around me and I'll still probably like it. But like I said, only the first six stuck out to me.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I was pretty disappointed. But Uzi's done more than enough for us this year, especially
Right.
for me. Eternal Take is um probably my favorite Uzi project. Uh, very close with Love is Rage too. But yeah, he gave me one of my favorite albums of the year, so I can't complain. But yeah, I mean, those two singles he dropped before, those would probably be like top four, top five on this album. I feel like I
What
like
Patty
both of
and
them.
over my head or over
Hmm.
your head?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Um,
yeah, it
it's
was.
funny that you bring up Lullaby because I was gonna bring that up, and the first note I have is offbeat. Uzi was definitely offbeat on this, and I think I want to say he did that because it was more like because if you really listen to the lyrics, he's kind of like telling about his life, like it's more personal than almost anything he's ever put out. Like he's actually speaking about his life and everything, but I think that was like kind of a storytelling mentality. And the more I've been listening to this song, the more I've actually been disliking it. Because when I first heard it, I was like, all right, it's Uzi, whatever. Like he's kind of going for a different thing. It just doesn't work. I mean, between the beat and just like his flow, he's clearly offbeat. It's on purpose, but it just doesn't work. The beat's pretty dull. Like you said, he's monotone. I wouldn't say it's his worst song ever. I could think of a few that are worse, but I'll definitely still listen to it. Maybe it'll grow on me over time, but definitely I don't know. I put it on here because it's a memorable track, but that doesn't always mean like I remember it for the best reasons, you know. So couple decent songs in the middle, like Plastic had a Young Thug type beat. That's it. That was the music video that they dropped. I like their back and forth on that one. Um, then She Never Been to Pluto, Off Dat, and I Don't Want to Break Up. Those are all pretty good songs on the last like 5 or 6 tracks. But yeah, the album as a whole has been growing on me the past like couple of days because I've just been replaying it over and over again. Because I mean, they're Uzi songs. Like for me, they're all really good. But yeah, so far it's my least favorite album, but it's still growing on me. And then, like you said, Lullaby. It was just I don't know. Hopefully that song grows on me in some way. It took Pain 1993 by Drake and Playboi Carti. This is completely like off topic, but it took like 2 or 3 months for me to like that song. So maybe the same thing will happen with Lullaby, but yeah, it's probably lower tier, arguably the worst song on this project.
Yeah. As a huge Lil Uzi fan as you are, do you find yourself kind of forcing yourself to try to like these instead of kind of like, because I feel like with someone who's your favorite artist, if they drop something that's absolute trash, I feel like no matter who you are, I would do the same thing. You try to kind of convince yourself, all right, it's not that bad.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But like someone like Cardi, because Cardi's like he's up there with my favorite artists. But I was like, when I first listened to Pain, I'm like, this is fucking dog shit. Like honestly, and for some reason, like with the vibe of the song, I feel like it kind of works. Um, you could say that, especially if you're listening to the song so much. I feel like you kind of trick yourself into liking it, you
Mhm.
know. Especially when I see the name Lil Uzi Vert like on an album like Doughboy, like the song Bussin', where Uzi clearly carried that song. If I see Uzi on a song, I'm just gonna listen to it right away. I download it, whatever, because he's been my favorite artist since like late 2016. So yeah, I guess you could say that, but I still thoroughly enjoyed all of these tracks. And the more I go back, I'm still liking it more and more. But yeah, it's a fair point.
Yeah.
'Cause
Just really,
especially because X, I don't know if he's still your favorite artist, but like with these last couple albums, they're not good. And it's not fair. It's not fair to X because he's not the one putting them out. But like, did you find yourself in a similar situation with that or not really?
yeah. He's always going to be in my top three, probably, no matter what happens. But yeah, it's kind of like it's a totally different situation. I feel like because this is kind of what Uzi wanted, but that's not what X wanted. But when I was listening to those
Right.
songs, I'll be the first to tell you his last two albums, they had some good songs on there, but they were, for the most part, complete garbage and like disrespect to his name. But through first listen, I listened to the whole thing. I'm like, all right, they did a good job. And I listened to it again. I'm like, "Well, dude, this isn't good. This is garbage. Like,
Yeah.
it, it is a different situation because some of those were like unfinished. They just throw things together. But I
Right.
definitely get what you're saying. Um, but it was just really weird to me because the first six songs I was going crazy. I was like, dude, this is fire. I can't wait. 16 songs. and then there reached a point where it was just like each song after I'm just like I'm nodding my head, I would listen to it, but like nothing's sticking out to me.
Mm.
And it was interesting. But it's not to say the whole thing is trash. I got six really good songs out of it. But I mean I'm starting to see why people were calling it mid, but I don't like that word. I feel like that word has a very negative connotation. I would call this an average project featuring two above average or great artists.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm feeling the same way. I'm liking it more and more each day, but I'm still not too crazy about it. With these two especially, collaborations like songs like 7 Million, What's Up, um, All Bad even on High Off Life on Future's last tape. Those were all really good songs. So I'm like, Too Much Sauce too. That's like their first collaboration, I think. Those are all really good songs. And then the two singles that came out, they were good. They weren't fantastic, but they were fine. So it got me pretty excited for this album. Um, yeah, I mean it's still growing on me, and it's only been less than a week since it's been out. So we'll see if this album kind of ages like some fine wine.
Mm, yeah. I'm excited. I think they said a deluxe is coming soon, so hopefully I can feature some
Yeah,
feature.
Uzi's been going crazy on Twitter ever since this dropped. Like he said that there's another project with him in future. Then he tweeted out that he's dropping two albums and he's retiring, but then he deleted it. And now people are bringing back the video, like in the interview with Nardwar, where he said he's
Mhm,
gonna like leave this earth at 27,
mhm,
and he's kind of shutting down all these rumors. I know there's a TikTok right now blowing up, like putting
yeah,
all the pieces together.
mhm,
I've literally received that from 10 people because everybody knows Uzi's my favorite artist. And I sent the screenshots of his tweets. I'm like,
mhm,
everything's good. He
yeah.
just wants to do DMT with Joe Rogan.
Yeah, it's interesting, but I mean, they kind of didn't really hype this up, so I wasn't expecting it, and I'm fine with
Yeah.
six songs, coming out of nowhere basically. And if a deluxe is coming, I'm sure there's some songs on there. If not, all of them would be good. So
Yeah.
nothing much you could say
Yeah.
about that. Uzi's had a fantastic year. Anyway, there's nothing that could really bring him down in my opinion. But
It's just like, I still love Uzi's music, and it's great that he's evolving and changing his sound because it's like it's not getting stale. He's kind of like rapping more now, just compared to like 2016, 2017. But part of me misses that old sound. Like I don't know what it is, just the way that he sounded in those songs. Like I kind of hope we see that come back, but I still love him regardless. He's probably gonna be my favorite rapper until the day I die. Honestly, like he has no misses for me, to be honest with you.
yeah, that's fair. Let me try to think. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Is there anything coming up soon?
You want to give it a rating out of 10, just if
Um,
you can?
Probably like 6 out of the 16. I'll give it like a. Seems very, because like this scale's fucked up.
Honestly, like if you give an album, I'd say below a 6, it's like trash. Think of it as like a grading scale in school almost, you know? Because like if you say you give it like 6 out of 16 and you convert that to 1 out of 10, it's gonna be like, okay, it's like a 3, 4 or something, then it's gonna be garbage. So, you know,
I'll probably give it like a 5.5. And
but
I don't mean that in like a trash way. I just mean that like this is literally for two artists of these, you know, calibers, this was dead average to me.
yeah.
Um, and I don't hate it obviously. Um, but yeah, I didn't love it, and I'll take six songs any day of the week for an album. Yeah.
So despite everything I said, I'm still going with an 8.3 because I don't know, he's just my favorite artist, and like whatever I'm doing the past couple days I've been listening to these tracks, and there's some really good standouts for me. And like when I'm driving, you have it blasted up, like Sleeping on the Floor, like we talked about earlier, that's a song that just absolutely bangs. Um and I'm just it's just growing on me. If you asked me after first listen, I'd probably be right around 7, but it's just slowly creeping up in the scores. Uzi's my favorite artist. I'm not really gonna be mad with anything he drops. So 8.3 for me.
Yeah, that's fair. Let me know what you guys think down below, and should be it, right? Nothing really much to talk about. I'm not
Yeah,
sure
I'm
because
trying to think if anything's coming up or not, but I don't
yeah, I'm
know.
not sure. My mind's fried right now. I don't know,
And to be honest with you.
but yeah, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. And yeah, have a great day and or night whenever you're watching this. Lyrical Lemonade, go check their music videos out with Lil Uzi and everyone else. Make sure you get the Lyrical Lemonade Chicago Bears drop soon. Go
Ooh,
Bears. They
yes.
suck, but
Shout
go
out
Bears.
Cole Bennett. Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. Okay. I won't. We won in fantasy, so it's all that matters.
That's all that matters. Have a great night. Have a great day whenever you're watching this. Stay strapped and as always, stay icy, baby.